I'm a business owner and in the land surveying business, and not a PLS or an RPLS, but I have been responsible for operations and successful operations of the business of land surveying. And we had started with an Alta operation. And most of you will know that Alta land surveys can be extremely complicated with title and support documents and all of the exhibits that need to go with that, etc. And we got pretty large in our operations and running crews all over the country. And in doing that, there are a lot of pieces of data that have to be controlled and have to be maintained and utilized. And I came across the guys at OnPoint, and they're exceptionally talented coding, software, etc. But it's kind of like every program that you use or try to find out there, it just doesn't work for your business. And to be flat honest with you, a lot of times the brilliant guys that can code and create all that software don't understand the business that you're operating. Well, that's not true with OnPoint. And I am a huge advocate of the software. It is very intuitive. It's very simple to use. It's in the language of surveying. And let me tell you, it made a huge difference in our operations in terms of being able to take a project from start to finish, track the clients, put critical information in there about each client. Some would want color prints on 11 by 17, others 24 by 36, had to have a logo in a certain place. We would regularly have opportunities to have 75 land surveys, perhaps for convenience stores in 16 states, and have to quote that job. And then we'd get 45 gasoline stations that they wanted to refinance or sell off to a franchise operation in 6 or 8 states, and we'd have to do that. Or we'd get a chain of retail stores that we'd have to do in Hawaii, and a lot of times all 3 of those jobs come in at once. And now you've got to dispatch crews all over the country and have critical time deadlines to make it in, and to be able to go out and do the field survey, put all that information together, run it through on the CAD and do everything that you needed to do and deliver the deliverable in 30 days or less. And in doing that, there just was not a system out there that could accommodate that. Along comes OnPoint. And quite frankly, I was able to work with them to really make sure that they understood what land surveying was, and the features in this software package absolutely make you money. And they make your life simpler. You don't have to worry about, did we get this piece of information, because it's there for all to see. From the ownership standpoint, I really enjoy the reporting function. I can hit one key and ask one question and get exactly the information I need, whether we have 10 jobs in progress or we have 1,000 jobs in progress. Each and every job you can pull up, and it will tell you everything that's not done in the process. And the process can be, as you will probably know if you're a land surveyor, it can be a pretty long list of little things that have to be done to do this job and do it right. And OnPoint is absolutely a tool to manage all of that. Much more than a database, it is a management tool. And the other thing it does for me is, some of the clients that we had were due diligence firms, and you'd have 5 or 6 different contacts within that, and remembering personal things about each one of those. In an organization, you may have 5 different project managers, and each project manager has to interact with the client, and having that screen pop up and remind you that, hey, Sarah's got a 5-year-old child that's just the joy of her life. Then when you're dealing with Sarah, you can ask about little Timmy. that kind of thing. And I tell you, that makes a big difference on the business side of you staying in touch with your clients. Just things like that. The efficiencies that were gained, and just the peace of mind, knowing you could walk out of the office and, oh my gosh, I didn't forget something. Tying that to records of where everything's located. It's just a fabulous piece of software that talks the land surveying language. I liked it so much, I have another company that we manufacture ballistic glass and we manufacture ballistic armor. And we've actually taken that same software package and we use it on our engineering aspects of all the things that we build. But we also track all of our prospects all the way through, cradle to grave is what I call it, all the way through to where we finish and deliver the project and get paid for it. And so we actually have had the good people at OnPoint rename that or rebrand that OnPoint. And in that business, we have some similar processes. In the engineering side, all the detail that we have to go through, the testing, the verifications, etc. And I got to looking at that, and we approached the good people at OnPoint and said, look, we want to take this and adjust it minimally, predominantly just the language, and apply it to the armor application. So we use that in our engineering side. We also use it cradle to grave in tracking our transactions from original client prospect through the negotiations, the estimate, the providing the solution, all the way through the invoicing, the manufacturing process. And at any point in time, we can take a look at OnPoint and be able to track a project through the manufacturing cycle, know where it's at, and know how long it will take to get it finished, know of anything that we're missing, and we can take care of that. Again, it absolutely is a management tool. It makes your life easier. If I had to think about all the glass that's running through the manufacturing plant and whether or not this small piece of glass got made for this small client versus the glass that we're doing for a large building, I don't have to worry about that because it's all in there, it's being tracked, and a simple report function tells me. It also, again, gives me details on my clients that you just can't keep in the front of your mind. But by having it there every time you interact with that client, it reminds you and you can provide that personalized touch. So I'm a big fan of OnPoint and now ArmorPoint. And if you own a business or you're a land surveyor out there trying to make a living and want to make your life a little easier and make more money, then you ought to take a look at this. It's a good product.